Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. Today's topic is Angel Tzuriel, who assists us in detaching from limiting beliefs and behaviors. And if you're excited like me, please leave a like, subscribe, and share this video with family and friends. Let's get started. Angel Tzuriel is the angel governs this lunar month of Libra called Tishrei, which is also the first day of the lunar year. Adam and Eve were born on this day, and therefore it's really the birth of humanity, where we can all determine our next lunar year's movie. Tzuriel translates to God is my rock. It reminds us that our true strength and gifts come from the Creator, and that our strength does not waver no matter how it may seem or feel. He assists us in detaching from limiting beliefs and behaviors, replacing them with beliefs and behaviors that are centered around growth and expansion. What a wonderful way to start the new lunar year. As a Libra, I can tell you that we're constantly striving for perfection, which spiritually can be a trap. We can easily focus on the half-empty cup, and before we know it, we sink into self-blaming or disappointments. The reason for that, and it's something Angel Tzuriel can definitely help us with, is that we begin mistaking our differences for imperfections. But Kabbalistically, what makes something perfect or not is really your perception of what is. So there really is no such thing as imperfection. We can say different, but we want to come to an understanding or a consciousness that everything is perfect. Brené Brown, in her book The Gifts of Imperfection, said that when we love and accept ourselves, we can be vulnerable and tell our stories, expose our imperfections to others, which forms deeply meaningful versus superficial connections that fulfill us. And often people take that part of them that was not perfect, or at least in the eyes of others might not be perfect or vulnerable, and see it as a negative and judge them as a negative. We need to know that we're not going to change the way other people see us. The most important thing is how we see ourselves. The idea is that yes, to be the best version of yourself, that includes what others might or even perceive as imperfections, but that they are actually what makes you as you are. If somebody wants to judge you, they will find ways to do it and spread it. Brené went on to say, we have to own our story and share it with someone who's earned the right to hear it. Someone whom we can count on to respond with compassion. Those who are going to judge are just not worthy to hear it. And that's the way you need to view it. So the starting point or the home base is know who are the 1, 2, 3 that I care, how they hear me, but it doesn't have to be everybody, because that's never a possibility. It's not even necessary. We often try to hide our differences in the interest of fitting it, especially when we're children. Leonard Cohen said that there is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in. What we might perceive as imperfections are actually what makes us the perfect being that we are. And certainly so much of our unhappiness comes from the fact that we look either at ourselves or at our lives, and we hone in on, or we focus on that smaller part that is to our mind imperfect, when in reality everything has imperfection. One of the things that the psychologists often speak about is the idea of imperfection, is that we think everybody else is perfect and I'm the only one who has this problem, I'm the only one who has this issue, when in reality everybody has imperfections, and that is what makes them their most perfect self. There is that saying, comparison is the thief of joy. Everybody has imperfections. It's actually a foundational realities, truth about the human condition. But when we start focusing on rather what others have that we don't, as opposed to focusing on, which is an important work, those who don't have what we have, that shift, and in a Kabbalistic term, it's a very important practice to root out the moments, the times, the thoughts that we have, that we look outwards at somebody who has, we believe something more than we do, and therefore focusing on our lack to diminish that and to awaken more of the moments that we look at those who have less than us and what we have. So the appreciation that comes from that. There are really two ways of living. Most of us, unfortunately, too often fall on to the first one, where in reality we should fall into the second. We should work on developing the second, because that really is fulfillment. That really brings us to fulfillment. But the point is, if you're a person who, when looking through social media, you hone in on and feel why they have this and I don't, that is really a path towards lack of fulfillment. There's a Japanese philosophy that says the appreciation of beauty that is imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete, like a vase with a crack filled in with gold. That's really the truth of life, that the beauty is in what is imperfect, incomplete, and impermanent. The big shift Angel Tzuriel can help us with is really accepting that we are in this world for perfection, but a different type of perfection. We are in this world for beauty, but a different type of beauty. The beauty that is in the imperfect. The perfection that is the imperfect, the incomplete. Our flaws is really what makes us interesting. We have to put the lie to the unfortunate constant thought until things are perfect, until things are in myself or in my life perfect, I can be happy. Whereas the opposite is true. Happiness comes from those parts that are not perfect. This lunar month of Libra, starting today, what's called Rosh Hashanah, and every week throughout this month, we'll have different cosmic windows that are days that set up the rest of the year. Our consciousness at this time, our prayers at this time really influence what happens over the next 12 months. There's a story about a student that once came to a great Kabbalist, and he said to him, it's a 24-hour period. And the Kabbalist told him, he says, I'm able to tell you what you prayed for over those 24-hour period, and also what the supernal world answered you, what the Creator answered you. So he tells him, at night, this man was an inn owner. He had a little inn. People would come and he would sell food and a few rooms for board, but he was very busy all day and all night. So at night, you stood before the Creator and you said, you know what? I feel like I want that my work to be more perfect. I feel like my life is so busy with running the inn and taking care of the people that it doesn't leave me enough time for meditation and contemplation and connection to the light of the Creator. What I want, my spiritual work, is to be more and more every day. So at night, you asked the Creator, you said, you know what? I don't need any more money that I had this year, but give me all the money that I do need that I had last year in the beginning of the year, and then I don't have to worry about running the inn. I don't have to worry about taking care of people. I could spend all day, every day, in perfect meditation, contemplation, prayer and study, and connection to the divine. That's what I want. Basically, he thought he can be very spiritual without any challenge. And then in the morning, he continued. You started thinking further and you said to the Creator, you know, I changed my mind. I still want this year to be perfect. I want my spiritual work to be perfect. I want to have all the time that I need to meditate and to contemplate and to pray. But I'm worried if you give me all the money in the beginning of the year, I'm going to get too involved in investing and worrying about it. So give me half of it in the beginning of the year, and then half of it in the middle of the year. And then my year can be perfect. I could spend all the time praying and meditating and doing the spiritual work. And in the afternoon, he said to the Creator, you know what, I changed my mind again. I still want this year to be perfect. I want it to be full with only the most perfect meditation and prayers and study and spiritual work. But I'm still worried. If you give me half and half, it's still too much. So please give me a quarter in the beginning of the year, a quarter in the second, a quarter of the year, another quarter in the third, and in the last fourth quarter, the fourth quarter of the year, and then my year can be perfect. And the man was very impressed. He said, wow, that's amazing. You were able to read my mind, read my prayers. It's exactly what I was praying for. So the Kabbalist turns to him and says, do you want to know what the answer was? What the Creator answered to your prayer, to your request? He says, yes, of course. He said, the Creator says, you think that the Creator desires your perfect prayers, your perfect spiritual work, your perfect study. It says the Creator has countless angels in heaven, perfect. Humans are in this world not to be perfect. You're in this world to be in the mud. You're in this world to be busy running your inn. You're in this world to be having people screaming at you and yelling at you, and yet find 2 minutes for prayer and meditation, yet find 5 minutes for study. That's the purpose of men in this world. It's a beautiful understanding, not just about our spiritual work, but about perfection. Perfection is for the heavens. For human being, the work is to be imperfect, and from that imperfection, find light. So, for example, you wake up in the morning, you didn't have a great night's sleep, so you're feeling a little bit not yourself. The first thought is, oh, I wish I had gone to sleep earlier, or I wish I had the right amount of sleep. Now my whole day is going to be whatever. What I say to myself is, no, whatever I did. Now I'm in a place where, okay, I didn't get a great night's sleep. If this is what is, it is perfect, which means that today, the best day that I'm in, this is exactly how I meant to have it, that I can have, is one with which I do what I need to do while I'm a little bit tired. And that whole view that perfect isn't what I think perfect should be, but rather perfect is what is, because I'm not responsible solely for the situation that I'm in. There is this force, this creative force of the universe that is directing my life and creating situations that are perfect for me. Perfect for me doesn't mean as I planned them, but perfect for me. In life, there are certain things that are changeable. For instance, if a person says, why is my kid not doing well in math? If there's something I can do, I can get a tutor, I could switch schools. So there are changeable realities moving forward. And then there's the reality that exists now. So if I got a call from my kid's school today that said, your kid is failing math, the reaction should be, that news is perfect for me today. For whatever reason, it's not great news. I don't love hearing that. But for whatever reason, for my soul's process through the next 12 hours that I'm awake, it needed that information. It needed that energy. And therefore, the perfection of what is, yet if there is something that I can do better tomorrow, I plan for that. I change toward that. So it's really important to separate two parts of reality. The things that we can change moving forward and the things that exist right now. And what we're saying is that the perfection of what is always true. That does not mean that we never look forward and decide, I'm going to change this, I'm going to change that a little bit differently. But what we do know for certain, and this is where a lot of work begins, that whatever scenario the universe conspires for my benefit to create for me today, that's the perfection of what is. And also, the starting point is, do not compare it of what you thought it should be. Because if you stay in that mindset and that belief system, it's a loop. You cannot actually get off that treadmill. It's going over and over and over again. You start there and trusting that the universe has your back and that everything that comes to you is for its greatest good. Your responsibility is to find out what that is, to be curious, to have enough self-love, self-awareness, to really go all the way in and say, okay, how can I really use this to become a great gift? So the first element is being what is happening right now, is the perfection of what is. What I can change, I should endeavor to change. But later is the illusion of perfection has to be thrown out, because that illusion that a person creates whether for what their spouse will be, what their marriage is going to be, what their kids are going to be, what their career is going to be. And the view is that it's going to be perfect, whether we're conscious of this or not. That is never going to be the case. There's not such thing as the perfect partner. There's the partner that is perfect for you. And will be things we like more or less, but the totality of that package is perfect for me, as opposed to a person saying, I need somebody who's perfect in all these areas. If we look at how we want to go through life, in the moment, the perfection of what is. Whatever scenario happened, for example, again, I didn't sleep, I got the call about the kid, what is perfect. What I can change, I should endeavor to change, never towards the goal of perfection, because that is an illusion and that is never the goal. The difference between a healthy striving versus perfectionism is a healthy striving. I want to create a better scenario, make it better, create change, move forward towards something that's different versus the absolute nothing can look flawed. It's a whole different lens you're looking through. Researchers show that perfectionism hampers success, and it also is a path to depression, anxiety, and addiction. So if you start to feel those feelings, that's an indication of, okay, I'm going into perfectionism. This is not healthy striving. If it's healthy, it has to actually feel calming, inspiring. You feel you want to connect to something greater than you. You like yourself, you feel one with the universe. The other one is just mean and critical. Also know that those parts of us that are not perfect or different have many purposes, but one of them is that those imperfections, those cracks, those challenges that we go through, one of their purposes is to enable us to assist others who have those same differences or have those same challenges. Each one of us is imperfect in the perfect way, has those differences. One of the reasons that you have them is because you are meant to find a way to use that to assist others who go through same challenges. First, you need to be able to use it to assist yourself, of course. If you don't see yourself, then you can never really help another. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, please leave a like, subscribe, and share. Hope to see you in the next video. And I do want to wish all of you and your families a happy, healthy, enlightened new lunar year. See you in the next video.